Hey everyone, welcome to the 10 Investor channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss 6 stocks for swing trading. Yeah, I've not done swing trading for quite some time, so I thought why not teach you how to find stocks for swing trading using my own screener, and also how do you trade stocks for swing trading. So let's get started, and I'm going to use this screener that I've always used, and in this screener I have 4 different, it's a dashboard in charting, and I have 4 different screeners, and I'm going to use this screener, which is CCI Daily Crossing 100. Now, out of these 4 screeners, why am I looking at CCI Daily Crossing 100? You could also use the CCI Weekly Crossing 100, but I'm going to use Crossing 100 because Daily Crossing 100 because I want stocks which are breaking out in the short term. And basically, when CCI on the daily crosses 100, which means it's about to break out. It's not yet broken out, but it's about to break out. And probably some stocks might have already broken out, but most of the stocks here are about to break out and might probably give a good run for swing trading. Okay, so all the stocks I've selected today are from this screener. So when the video is published, you can go to the screener and check the stocks that I'm going to discuss today will be from the screener. So let's start. And the first stock that I have from this screener today is Alkem Labs. Now, Alkem Labs actually came in our position trading screener, which is the weekly crossing 100 a couple of weeks back when we had this breakout over here, right? So this stock is breaking out from very, very large consolidation. Now, if you see here, we had this massive consolidation and it is broken out already. They kind of retested and now we are heading higher. Now, the first rule in swing trading is you need to find a stop loss which is very, very less. Now, here, all the stocks we're discussing today are going to be between 4 to 7% stop loss. And basically, in swing trading, we're looking for stocks that are going to give a significant return in the very short period of time. By significant, I mean 20%, not more than that. So if you're having a 7% stop loss, then probably going to get 3 times that stop loss, which is 21%, right? So that's what we're looking at. We want to look at really, really short stop losses. Anything less than 7% is great. So here, another point to note here is we had a retest and then we had this move up on Friday, but we had not a great closing, but the volumes have been good in this recent consolidation over here. Now, volumes are good, especially on breakouts like this. We want volumes to be good, and if we have this continuation of move here, then we'll have probably high volumes coming in. But for me, this move over here from here, it looks like a consolidation, and then we might probably head higher from here. So CCI has crossed 100. The second rule is I want the stock to be outperforming the market. So first rule is CCI needs to cross 100. The second rule is CCI relative strength needs to be above the green line here. Now, if you don't know what is relative strength, there's a video on my channel. You can go and check that out. Basically, we want stocks outperforming the overall markets for swing trading. So even if the market goes sideways, these stocks will have a high probability to outperform or probably move higher from here, right? The third rule is you want to have decent volumes, slightly above average volumes at least. Like for example, in this case here, right, even here we had this move here from this pivot point. So we want a slightly higher increase in volumes, and we want the stock to be in an uptrend on the weekly charts. Now, in Alkem, if you see the stock is already in an uptrend, we had a breakout and we retested and we're heading higher, or the stock at least should be near a breakout point in the weekly charts, right? So if in case you wanted to pick up the stock here, right? So if this is a weekly chart, you could have picked up even the stock somewhere around here, right? But the stop loss have been too deep. So the rule is the stock has to be in an uptrend on the weekly charts, or at least near a pivot point where if it breaks out, then it's entering an uptrend. Okay, so that's the rule that you need to have. So Alkem Labs is the first stock, so you can buy the stock above 3430, which is this point over here, right? So you want to buy it above this point because there's every chance, because of rejection, the stock might again come down, retest this point and consolidate for some time. So that's why you want your capital to be in the best stocks which are performing. That's why you have to buy the stock above 3430 because you've not had a breakout yet and a close above this point, right? With the stop loss of 3300, which is around this point over here, which is that 3.8% stop loss. And in all the swing trading stocks we're going to look at today, we're going to risk only maximum 1%. Now, in this case, you have stop loss of 4%, so you could even risk 1%. We'll get a very good position size, or you could even risk a 0.5% right now if you want to buy, and then once it goes above, then risk the entire 1% of your capital. The second point to note here is the maximum position size that you should have in your portfolio should be not more than 25%. Now, if you're experienced, you can go up to 40-50% as well. Some people do that, but if you're a beginner, do not have a position size more than 25%. What do I mean? If you have a portfolio worth, let's say, 10 lakhs, you should not have anything more than 2.5 lakhs. So if your portfolio size is 1 lakh, your position size for this trade should not be more than 25,000. Okay, so that's the simple rule for this swing trading that I'm going to teach you today. Okay. Next point is obviously what are the targets. Now here in this case, you should not be riding the trend, because in swing trades you want to quickly exit. If you have decent profits, exit and then move on to the next trade. So in this case, I'm going to suggest you to book 50% when we have reached twice the risk. So basically here, if you have a stop loss of 3.8% in the stock, then you're going to look at for targets at least of around 7.6%, right? So if the stock moves 7.6%, 8%, then you exit half the position, which is 50% of the position size you hold, and then remaining position you book it at 3 times the risk here. Now 3 times this will come around 9% or 11.4% around, right? So that's the kind of targets you have to look for. Twice the risk or thrice the risk. So anywhere around that, book to 50%, and then remaining can trail, at 3 times the risk as well. Now, in some cases, you can also try to ride the trend. If the stock has really moved very fast, let's say it moved 30% in just a couple of weeks, then you can keep some position, keep some space and try to ride the trend and see how far it goes, right? So that's also something that you could do. So anyways, that's the first stock for today. Let's move on to the second stock, which is the Asian Paints. Now, Asian Paints has been in a very long downtrend. Now the previous one was a proper breakout already on the weekly charts. Now Asian Paints on the weekly charts is already in an uptrend, but on the daily charts it has been in a continuous downtrend. And now we had this breakout over here, and then we're kind of consolidating here. Now here in this stock, we've kind of had a triple bottom setup, right? Now here, if you see, we had this massive red candle, nice consolidation here, massive red candle here, and then we also had a good green candle here. So for me, this is going to be a very significant support zone, and the stock is now broken out of this pivot zone over here, and now we are kind of heading higher, right? Now again, CCI is above 100, obviously, because the scanner itself is CCI crossing 100, so stock will be having CCI above 100. The relative strength also has been going up and down above this green line, so relative strength also is looking good. So overall for me, the volumes also have been pretty good since this move here. The volumes have been above average, right? So we've seen some good green volume bars, which is way above average volume. So overall, this looks like a good setup, and we've also had this nice 2 days of consolidation, and now we've broken out. So I think here we might head higher. This is also a 1, 2, 3 setup that I discussed some time back. So the 1 is here, we had trend line, the stock closed above the trend line. Then we had a 2, it dipped, but it did not close below the previous support zone. And now if you cross this zone, then that's a 3 setup, right? So 1, 2, 3 trend change. So anyways, the stock here, you can buy at current market price, because we already had a breakout from this consolidation here, and with the stop loss of just 4.6%. And the targets again can be twice the risk or thrice the risk as well, right? Now if you're a positional trader, then your stop loss should be somewhere here, right? Because that's the major support zone. Because in a swing trade, there's a high probability that your stock might dip again and come here, but this major support will not be broken, right? So if you're a positional trader, your stop losses still need to be at a significant swing low, at least around this zone here. Okay, so that's the rule for positional, but for swing, these rules can be followed. The third stock for today is going to be Dharmaj Crop Guard. Now, I've always been saying the last couple of weeks, IPO stocks are looking very good. Many IPO stocks can actually do well going forward, at least next few weeks. You can see some good rewards in the IPO stocks. So here is one from the Alkem space, or the agrochemical space. Now this stock also was listed somewhere in 2022. We had this massive downtrend, but now the stock is kind of stabilizing. We're going sideways. We had a strong base, and we are crossing this pivot zone over here. Right now, also CCI is above 100. Relative strength is above and outperforming the markets. And the point to note here is, this stock, after the massive move up, it has been going in a very tight zone, right? And then we had this strong green candle last Friday. That means we had a very good weekly closing. So whenever you see a stock crossing CCI 100 after such tight consolidation, there's a very good probability that this stock will head much higher. And also the stop loss here is just 5.7%, right? It's a very newly listed stock, IPO stock, so the volatility can be really good. So if it starts moving higher, you can get some good 20-30% returns with just a very minimal risk. So these kind of setups are a must-have setups, right? You can also see this is probably inward head and shoulders, not a perfect right shoulder, but at least, yeah, you could probably call it a cup and handle as well, right? Keeping the pattern names aside, I don't want to really get into them, but this is a beautiful breakout from base. So you can buy the stock already at the current market price, because we already had the breakout, stop loss of just 5.7%, and the targets are going to be the same, twice or 3 times the risk that you're taking. Okay, so that's the third stock. Now, if you like my way of teaching and technical analysis through examples, through weekly videos, don't forget to subscribe and like my video as well. Also, do me a favor by sharing this video with your friends. Okay, so that will help my channel reach a much wider audience. So let's move on. We have 3 more stocks for the day. The fourth stock is Philip Carbon Black. I know this stock has been one of favorites. It has done really well in the last few years. And what has happened is, again, a nice strong consolidation here, and we had this beautiful breakout, and then we are consolidating for the last 4 days. right? Now that's the kind of setup that you have to keep looking for. Now the best point could have been buying around this point over here when we kind of had this breakout over here, right? Where this tight consolidation after this green bar, we had this nice base, a very small base, and then again a breakout and a very small base. So it looks like this again is sitting up really well. Also, our relative strength CCI has been also pretty good. You can buy the stock at current market price because you already had the breakout here, or you can also buy above this point here, right? So 120 zone over there, and the stop loss is going to be just 5.8%, and the targets are same. We are looking for at least twice risk here, which means at least 12% to 18% returns from here. Now, which would be a very good return from a risk reward perspective. Okay, so that's the third stock. The fourth stock is also another excellent candidate, Kumar InfraProjects. Again, a beautiful trendline breakout here on Thursday. Volumes have risen slightly on Friday when we had a nice closing. We had a dip, and that wick over there shows that there is demand in the stock. And I think this could be a very, very good setup today. Stop loss is one of the widest stop losses, around 6.7%, which is pretty good. But look at this trendline resistance right now. This is a very significant trendline resistance. Now, if you kind of break out above that zone, which is 266 levels over there, I think we can head higher from here, and the stock can probably head towards levels of 300 or even higher from here. So we're looking at targets of at least 14% to 21%, 20% returns, right? Which gives 3 times the risk that we're taking. Also, one point to note here is when the CCA has not touched 100, and for the first time it's touching 100 after many, many weeks, months, then that's also a very good sign, especially if that's a breakout with slightly above average volumes. Okay, so that's kind of setup you have to keep in mind when you look for swing trades, right? You can have 50, 60 stocks in a scanner, but you have to be very, very selective, and you have to train your mind again and again to spot such trades for swing trades. The stop loss is very small, so you might get kicked out, but over a large number of trades, you might make some decent returns. And if you are able to get at least risk reward of 2.5 times, something like that, with a 50% win rate as well, you will do pretty well over a period of many years, right? So that's what you have to look for. So the next stock is BLS International. Again, a very, very beautiful setup. Look at this beautiful consolidation over here, right? We had this green candle. The stock kind of tested around that support zone, and again we had a green candle. Now look at the volumes. Every time we had a green candle, the volumes have been excellent, right? The volumes have been excellent. CCI has been really, really good, and relative strength has always been above the 52-week moving average, right? 52 period moving average here. So in this case, 52-day moving average, not really weeks, right? So now here, again, you can buy the stock because it's already broken out, 178 levels, stop loss of 6.7%, and we are probably going to look at least 20% returns from here, right? Now that's how you find swing trades. I've discussed 6 nice examples for you. Do let me know from the scanner if you find any other stocks which might probably do well. DM me on Twitter or just write a comment on my video, and I can probably help you with stop losses and targets as well. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you liked this swing trading setups. And if you do have any feedback, do let me know. And if you want me to teach something else, do let me know in the comments as well. So I'm going to leave you here. Take care, stay safe, trade safe. Until I see you in another video. Bye-bye.